Hi there! So, today I'm going to show you how I'm doing my November bullet journal. But first, as usual, let's start with October. And last month I told you that I bought the Tiger set for bullet journaling with this lovely stencil kit. And this last weekend, actually, I was outside and I stopped by The Works. The Works is a shop that it's basically, I guess, in every UK city, at least quite big city, not necessarily all the villages, but in the main cities, it's everywhere. And they have a lot of super cool and super cheap stuff for a lot of different things, from books to and also for crafts and stationery. So I was there and I couldn't stop myself from buying this lovely stamp set. So I don't know if you are if you watch my channel because you are just doing bullet journal, or if you are a scrapper. I'm not sure, but I'm both. So I can't resist to some lovely stamp set. And I have to say that the value for money, it's great because they are really super cheap. And this one comes also with the acrylic block and the ink pad. Something that I really need to mention is the fact that for a scrapper, when you buy this kind of kit with an ink pad, you usually just open the kit and throw this away because it's not a good quality. I tried this out and it's not bad, but as you can see here, it's not at all water resistant, and it couldn't be an issue if you don't want to do what I did here. So if you want to use your Crayola markers or Tombow or any other water-based marker on top of it, it's going to smudge, like here. So for me, I need something that is water resistant, so I'm using the Memento, that it's an ink pad that I used for scrapbooking, or you can use the VersaFine. They are both water resistant, they are both great for doing this kind of stuff. They are small in size, so that you can bring with you, and they are pretty cheap, so it's not a big expense. And I decided to try them because they have this really lovely handwriting, and I wish I would have a wonderful calligraphy, but it's not my case. So I can obtain nice results, but I need time. And I need that my bullet journal is also functional, so a lot of times I didn't have the time to stay here and focus on my calligraphy. So this stamp set could be very handful, that's why I bought it, and also has some nice things like sleep tracker, expense tracker, my mood. Something that I really need to mention is that this one, for example, that I use here, it's not meant to cover Wednesday. I have no idea why they study this type of things around Monday or Friday instead of Wednesday, that it's the longest in as number of letters, days of the week. But yeah, so this one I hand-drawn. I actually bought this yesterday because I realized from the Works website they has also this version, so I went back to the store and check it out and buy it. And this one actually can fit the Wednesday from this set, but not from his own set. I know, it's insane. No idea why. So I'm going to mix and match probably. But yeah, this could be a really nice addition to your bullet journal kit. It's something that you don't need to use all the time, but could be nice. And another thing that I've done here, it's use wick from the stamp set, but I use my Crayola to color it basically and just stamp it. So the quality wasn't perfect, of course, so I could just trace it back over with freehand basically. And it's something that I won't advise to do for the days of the week because they are very, very tiny, and I think you have to be super precise and you cannot do it with a Crayola. Maybe with some fine liner, like colored like this, Stadler or something like this. But so what I'm thinking to do, since I am a scrapbooker, but I'm not a huge stamper, so I don't have many ink pads in different colors. So what I think I'm going to do is to use the black ink for the days and whatever I want to do in like the outlines of everything. And then I'm just going to color them with Crayola. So I don't have to bother to have dozens and dozens of ink pads. But of course, if you have them, that's great. You can just work with them. And so let's start to see the month of October. So here you see we draw this together, and this one as well. So I just finished by adding my the things that I have to do, and just a lot of random stars and dots and lines. I did the same here, and here this was my planner for Inktober, and it helped me a lot to keep on track. So I use like record, edit, details, and upload, and actually was a pretty good system. And here was the week 42. Here I still have this problem with spacing left here, but maybe I found a solution, and I'm going to explain in a minute. Here, this is my new series, so I don't want to show you a lot about it, because I don't know if you watch my channel a lot or not, but I have moved recently. And so in this house, we think that we can live for a few years, and it's more permanent than previous solutions. So what I'm doing is a lot of DIY works for my craft room, my studio, and also for the house itself. And I thought it could be nice to share them on my channel. So maybe you're not interested, maybe you are, I don't know, let's see how it goes. But yeah, that's what I was doing and what I was planning. And here, that's what I did on Sunday to try some of the stamps. And here there is this, like, there are 7 squares by 5, so they're meant to be used as a calendar, probably. But here I use it as a mood tracker. So I wrote productivity, happiness, stress, relax, and health. And then I choose a very, very basic color scheme, color palette. So it's just like the dark green is 0, so I mean, bad stuff. The light orange, it's okay. I don't think I need to explain that. And the darker orange is top. So it was very good. And it's nice. I mean, I think I can use it for filling some empty space on the bottom of my weeks. And that's my new week. So I think we are, and I have to still finish it, to move to November. As usual, the first thing that I'm going to do is to attach my calendar. So for November, the illustration is with some fall leaves in different color shades. And I'm placing a cardboard behind the page, because in the last week of October, I've used some puffy stickers. So otherwise, it's going to be a mess. And that's this way, I'm hoping to be able to compensate a little bit. And for the header, this time I'm using this cute banner stamp. And I'm writing important dates as usual. And for November, I've decided to use as my main colors this burgundy plus some gray and an orange tone that it's a little bit darker than the one for October. And this time, I don't know why, I was too lazy to actually count the spaces. So I wrote the number and the dates one space too much on the right. It should be, it's not centered, as you can see. And since I've started from the bottom instead that from the top, there is some empty space. So I'm going to use this November stamp to fill the space. And I'm using the Crayola marker actually to ink it. And it's not the perfect way. I mean, you always need to go over it with some with the Crayola marker, but it's fine. I mean, it's in capital letters, so, and it's in handwrite, so it's pretty easy to do it. And as usual, I'm dividing my weeks by highlighting the weekends. So for the week, the first week actually, what I've decided to do is to use these squares to stamp inside the days of the week. So as I was mentioning in the introduction video, I'm just using the black, and I have to mention that this black combined with the burgundy and the gray, it's something that does a lot of ghosting. So if you are scared by ghosting, you should probably use a different type of bullet journal, something that it's a little bit sturdier, with the pages are thicker than the Leuchtturm, because in the Leuchtturm it's 80 grams, so it's not enough. It's better 90 or 100 or even more. Or otherwise you can choose to use some not very dark black, not black or very dark color, because also the Crayola marker, the burgundy and the gray are ghosting. So you don't see it very much from the banner. So the banner, it's not ghosting very much, but you're going to see it when I turn the page. In the calendar page, it's going to ghost pretty badly. I'm not too much worried about ghosting, especially for the calendar, because it's not something that I need to write too much. But I thought it was fair from me to give you a heads up about it. And for the week, I'm using, again, the same techniques, the same as for to do. So I'm just inking the stamp using the marker. If you don't mind to go back with a little bit of your own handwriting, or just with your own marks with the marker after stamping, it's totally fine. It works, and it's a nice way to save money that you don't need to spend for buying an ink pad that it's in the matching color. So I've used the burgundy and the gray for the days of the week, and I don't know if you enjoy or not this stamp set and this idea that you can use this stamp set for your bullet journal, but I think that I would love to do my very first giveaway. So I think I'm going to announce it by the middle of November, and I think that these stamps could be a nice addition. So if you think it's a good idea, please let me know in the comments, because I really need some feedback. And here, for decorating and placing the days of the week, like the numbers, I'm drawing some leaves. I'm doing something very basic, because this video was already super long, so I don't want to overdo. Actually, I think probably I would draw some more interesting leaves shapes in the next weeks. But for now, it's fine. And so in the ones near the headers of each day, I'm writing the number, and the other one are just plain leaves with anything right on them. And I'm using 2 different tones of orange to give it a little bit more interesting, and I'm doing the same on the nearby, the to-do on the next page. So I don't know if this type of idea is something that you enjoy, but I would love to hear from you. So I hope that you will subscribe to the channel and comment and put some thumbs up if you like the video, and I hope to see you soon. So I leave you with all the pictures in details of all the elements and the single pages from October to November, and see you soon. Bye!